Before I sent my first invoice and before my website was even launched, I had already secured 2 client calls, and I had a group of creators that were ready to work with me. I didn't do it with ads, and I didn't do it with a big following. What I did do is I got clear on 3 things. I got clear on my strategy, my vision, and my community. First and foremost, I want to introduce Honeycomb Creative Agency. Honeycomb Creative Agency is a UGC agency with a twist. I have my own private hand-selected creators. I'm also doing my own marketing services for campaign management, paid ads, etc. The number one thing I knew that I wanted to hone in on is where I want to be at the end of this year. So my pre-launch season was in April of 2026. Where did I want to be in December of 2026? And one of those goals was to have a creator event here in Orlando with everybody that I'm working with in my agency. And I don't know the specifics of all of that yet, but I know that I want to have something for my creators at the end of the year. First things first was to find a strong group of creators, all different follower size, but I looked at their content. So what kind of content were they going with? What kind of brands have they worked with? And how do they deliver a good hook or CTA? Those were the main things I was focusing on, and pacing of the video. In my hive of creators, I'm going to be strategizing with them. We're going to be looking at the different formats of videos that we're going to be making for these brands. So we're doing a lot of research and a lot of strategy for these brands. This vision of the community was number one. And talking about community, that was the second point that I focused on in my business. When I thought about my community, I wanted to focus on who they were and how I wanted to impact them. The number one thing that I got asked from creators was, is this something that I have to pay for monthly? Absolutely not. I feel like I am building a community that I needed in my beginner era. I wanted somebody who could say, hey, come into my agency. I am a creator focused community. And I believe when we all come together and we're strong, there's no way that we will not succeed. We're a very diverse group of creators that are all very, very talented. And the 3 stages that you need to focus on in your pre-launch season, your systems are going to be the most important. As a mom of 2, there's very limited time to be a full-time agency owner. Having these systems and AI keeping you aligned with what you need to do in order to meet your goals has been very strong. The first system that I focused on was my Notion. And this is kind of my project manager on steroids, honestly. I have everything from my personal calendar to the tasks that I need to complete, my content calendar, following leads, creators that I'm reaching out to join the community. I even have a mood board in there. Honestly, here's just a screenshot of everything that's in my Notion, and you can see I have a lot in there. The biggest game changer with Notion has honestly been Claude. In terms of my business, Claude is untouchable, honestly. It has integrated with Notion. And anytime I say, we talk about a business plan and I tell it the things that I feel aligned with, I say, hey, put this in my tasked database in my Notion, and it goes ahead and does it. It puts all the notes in there that are relevant because I have a day job. I will say, hey, I have a 10-minute break that I'm going to be working. Write a prompt to help get this task done. And it says, hey, copy and paste this into Claude. We'll get working. Honestly, I got that done in 5 minutes. It made personalized pitches to brands. It found businesses. I'm looking at businesses all around the US, but also here locally to Orlando. It found not just any businesses, but it found businesses that would benefit from UGC. That has been honestly the number one lifesaver. I have to tell it, say like, hey, put it in this database, hey, put it in this database. Or I can just, I've also linked it up to my Google, and it will draft all of the emails that go to these brands. I could have it just send it, but I like to have a final look before an email to a brand is sent. I don't trust it to manually do all the tasks and not make a mistake. Another great tool that I've used, and it's also AI, it's called Sintra.AI, and it's these 12 plus little AI agents that work with your business. So you go by like telling it about your business. I gave it all my brand, fonts, colors, all the types of things. So the main Sintra agents that I used, I would say my number one was the business developer. His name is Buddy, and he built such a thorough business plan for my business, how I can add a little extra to my business plan on how I can be different from other UGC agencies. And the next one that I used, which has been amazing, was the web developer. He built an entire website for me within a couple of hours. What would have taken me about a week took 3 hours max. And it was just a simple discussion. I said, hey, I want all of this information, and this is my mission. This is my offer. I want to have this attached. I want to have a form. It did everything. And then I would just go back and forth. I'm like, hey, I want these colors instead of those colors. I want to add these images, and I don't have to lift a finger. All I have to do is type and have a conversation with it, and it understood fully. This is how my website looks. And honestly, I couldn't be happier. I sent it to literally all my old clients that I've worked with. I've sent it to family and friends, and they were all like, Michaela, you did a great job. Little do they know it was AI, and it's literally perfect. Lastly, the sales manager AI agent, she actually made my offer so much more simple. There were so many ways that I could have built my offer. She made one simple offer that I can customize to the brand. And it just made so much sense. She talks about how I can upsell, how I can do add-ons. It feels like a weight off your shoulders. I didn't have to spend an hour outlining. These AI agents are actually really smart and in their field, and they actually talk to each other, work together, and it was amazing. I paid for the 3-month plan, and honestly, it is so worth it. The amount of one agent, and you get 12. I definitely recommend you looking at Sintra.AI. It has been a game changer in how my brand even launched and how fast it launched. One thing Buddy helped me do when it came to the pre-launch season was say, hey, why don't you, since you already have agency experience, go back to some of your old clients or people that you know and let them know that you're launching your own business. This is what helped me get those 2 calls before I even launched. And I didn't even think about that. Sometimes you don't really think to go back to people that you've worked with in the past. But like with this one old client, she was like, man, I wonder if Michaela's going to start her own agency again. And it was just so aligned with timing. So I'm glad that Buddy pushed me to reach out to old clients. As a founder of an agency, you can't put everything on your shoulders. So if you have an AI agent that can lift some of those responsibilities, I would definitely just go ahead and take it. That is everything that I have focused on my pre-launch. It is definitely possible for you to get clients before even hitting launch. With all of these 3 things in motion, I had 2 client calls, a website live. I have a strong community of 25 creators already, and my business is launched like that. It is amazing and scary and exciting all at the same time. Having this agency is definitely a full circle moment. I'm very excited to be starting this new series, Inside the Hive, where I'm going to be documenting just about everything that happens in this agency. I'm going to be bringing on some of the creators that are within the agency. We're going to talk about some of the strategies that we've put in, the wins. I'm really excited to have you a part of this journey. This will be real moments as an agency in 2026. So definitely follow along. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Definitely subscribe. I'm super excited to have you here to share all these real raw moments in my agency. So subscribe. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.